Hello, and welcome to DeKalb Talks Tourism. We're excited today to have Jan Levie, who is the owner of Handy Entertainment right here in Chamblee. And welcome, Jan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, James.
So
I'm
how
glad
did
to be here.
you come to start Handy Entertainment? Give us some little background about yourself.
Well, one of the things that got me going was the fact that events were the same everywhere. Everywhere I went, the entertainment was the same. And my background is in theater and journalism.
Oh.
So looking at what was there, I thought there's got to be a better way. And one of our children has what I'll call stuff. And I realized that in order to make sure that he was able to make a living, do something meaningful, that I would look into building a business that he could work in. We didn't know what he had. We didn't know how severe it was, but we've been really blessed, and he's okay.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
So are you from Chamblee or from Georgia?
I'm from Indiana,
Oh, what part?
Indianapolis.
Okay, I used to live in Lake County, Indiana.
Wow.
Yeah, I ran the bureau up there for 5.5 years in
That's
Cherryville. So what brought you to Georgia then?
We were in New York, and it was a cold, cold winter, 19 snowstorms, and we had the real flu. And my husband's work got outsourced, and then it got resourced, and they offered him a job in Atlanta. And I said, "Oh, honey, put me on a veranda and give me a mint julep."
Very cool.
And the rest was history.
So how long ago did you start Handy Entertainment?
Well, we really got going in 2016. About 2012 is when we got the paperwork in order.
So where'd you come up with the name?
Ah, the name. So there's Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber's a very useful company, and I thought that was so cool.
His company is a very useful company?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has all of his things, whether it is his compositions, whether it's his recordings, everything's under that. And so I do a lot of different work. I'm also an interpreter and translator. And so everything goes under a handy little company. And Handy Entertainment is the DBA, the doing business as, that we're able to use for all of the entertainment parts.
That's very interesting. So you do translations like, what, different languages?
Yes, sir.
How many different languages can you translate?
I interpret in German and French, and just launched a subsidiary that is language concierge services, and those allow your VIPs to be protected and coddled and understood, and make sure that they understand the nuances of what's coming at them, because we've all had those people who've had English for 20 years. They say, "Oh, I am good. I can do this on my own." And then somebody asks them if they want to do something, and they didn't understand exactly what that entailed, and they agree, or they don't understand it and they mess it up.
Yeah.
It was so funny because an event planner that I know was looking for an interpreter for a wedding this summer, and she had no idea that I do this. And the people who know that I do this are the ones that come to me and ask me to do it. So I realized that even though it's not a huge business, it's something that I love doing.
Well, you would think now that, I guess theoretically COVID's over, we're starting to get a little more international coming into the United States, that could be a lucrative thing for the future.
It can, and we just have to make sure that people understand that Google Translate, bless its heart, it's not really going to cut it for person-to-person interactions in real time. Maybe it will next week, I don't know, but nuance, it's all about nuance.
Well, you know, with Beaufort Highway, with Chamblee, Dorville, or DeKalb in general, it's such a very big melting pot of cultures, and we have the great opportunity of having all the culinary, international culinary on Beaufort Highway.
Michelin stars.
Michelin stars. Yeah. We're getting ready to start a new podcast, actually, of our culinary aspects to dive into the Michelin's rankings and celebrity chefs. And
they're going to bring samples.
so we hope. We hope. So, what type of events do you produce?
Well, the last big event we did was the AFP conference, which is Association of Financial Planners in San Diego, and our client was Computershare Georgeson, and they had us woman the booth for 2 days, and we did handwriting analysis for them, and that was really fun. We saw over 300 people in 2 days, and they were the most superb clients. Just loved working with them in every way, shape, and form, and it was magnificent.
You say this was in San Diego?
Yes, sir.
So how did you get connected to go to San Diego with this company?
They reached out about a year and 3/4 ago, and we had an initial Zoom, and then they decided they were going in a different direction for that conference. And I guess that when the numbers started coming back in terms of attendees for conferences, they reached out. And it was like with Cirque du Soleil. It was lots of little baby steps where people said, what will you do? How will you do it? Can you show us that? Can you send us a sample? And that's what happens is people, they want to know if you say that you're going to make a 5-star meal, what it consists of, what are your ingredients. And they gave us a chance, and we were all really, really happy.
That's very cool. Plus, it helps put Chamblee on the map, too. Because when you're out there, you're from Chamblee. So.
And I have the pleasure of serving on the Chamblee Advisory Council, and Chamblee is an amazing place. I have to say I'm so, so proud to be in Chamblee and to live in Chamblee and to take advantage of all the things that Chamblee has to offer.
Downtown is really starting to boom, and then when you get the rest of the developments going on from City Hall, that area, and then it's got the Distillery of Modern Art, it's got the brew pub beside it, and you got hop sticks. I mean, it's got a lot of great things. You get into the art scene, you got the airport, you got MARTA. So I mean, in fact, it's so close to Buckhead.
And you've got the airport right there too. But what I really love about Chamblee are all the little mom and pop shops, the small noodle places. I like the Alden too, but I really love the fact that you can go off the beaten track, and you can find things that are pretty much unknown.
Wow, we might need to do Off the Eaten Path again.
We should actually solicit people, listeners, who want to get on a bus and do lip print analysis and a tasting and go from one restaurant to the other.
Well, we definitely know the company can do the bus, and you can handle the other aspect.
Yeah.
So you mentioned this lip print analysis and writing analysis. That's intriguing. Talk about that.
Everything is there, whether it's the way that you speak, the way that you sit, what you say, it's all there. It's in your handprint, it's in your handwriting, it's in your lips, it's in your face. We've done face readings before. Yes, we've done. Yeah. So what happens is when you put your lips onto a piece of paper, you make a print, and you can check this out yourself, everybody out there. It's different every time, depending on the tension, depending on
Makes sense.
The way that you're feeling, if you're feeling energetic or not. So all of these lines and all of these forms in your lips tell a story. Would you like to do one?
It's interesting. Yeah, let's do it.
Only alpha men do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I just can't even fathom what you're talking about. I mean, I can understand the logistics of it, but that's it.
Well, would you like to read this?
No, it just surprised me.
So anyway, lip print analysis, what you're going to do is take an applicator. We also do chocolate lip print analysis. We've got a magazine launch in January. We're probably going to do golden chocolate lip print analysis.
So take this.
Yes. And I will let you choose your very own lipstick sample.
Chocolate.
No chocolate today because those are special order, dear. This one says Truth Wins. That's the name of that lipstick. This one is Rebel Spirit.
Ooh.
Ooh. Nah.
I'm
doesn't
not a
match your
rebel
sweater.
spirit.
This one. Unforgettable.
Oh, that's me. I'm unforgettable. Does this stuff come off?
Yes, and you get your very own packaged upscale makeup remover. And if you twist it, just twist it off.
Can't be this hard.
Nah.
There we go.
And here's a mirror. And this is the fun part, actually. This is the really, really fun part. You could do these virtually as well, but
Do you need a lot?
I would say the air is kind of dry, so you need more than you think.
Monica,
But it's all
I'd
in.
be worried things you get me into.
It's all in. It's all in.
Okay, what do I do now?
You put it on. So, a side note, I'm watching you do it, and I notice that you are meticulous, but you are also quick. And it doesn't matter really if the person does it in person. We do a thing. Here's a trash
enough?
container.
Is that enough?
It's all good, yeah. And you may keep that.
No.
No, you can put it in the trash if you'd like. And press your lips onto the space in the middle of the card if you don't
Well, like
mind.
you're kissing somebody, or
Like whatever you do. Do it again. Okay. So, one thing I will tell you is here's your makeup remover.
is there enough there to do a reading?
There is, because no matter what it is, it's all in. And what I see here is somebody who is always extending their boundaries, always going further than they thought they would. There's a kind of bravery about it. There is an attention to detail. There is passion in the sense of really, really, absolutely following an idea, following a project. You just become enamored of something, and you hold on to it. You just really, really hold on to things. And you're careful about what you disclose to people and how you disclose it. Trash.
So how do you get all that from that smudge I have on there?
How do I get that? I don't know. It's there. You don't see it?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't get how you read that saying that.
Well, what's really amazing is we also do to-go lip print analysis. And this is an option, for example, a big event where people don't all have time. So people can take the card with them, make the print, text in a picture of it, and get an audio file sent to them. And even if we don't see the person, we're able to do it. It's kind of amazing.
Wow. Very interesting.
Ask me about my math skills, though.
What's your math skills?
Well, they're not as highly developed.
So is there anything else you can tell me about my lip print?
Yeah, there's actually something that you have started a discussion with, and you broke it off. You had a few minor things. It's pretty pedestrian, and you put it on hold for a while. You're going to go back to it. It's not quite finished yet.
Well, that could be true, too.
And that could be anything, but those are those little tiny dots that are under your lip print.
The van.
The van. But do you agree with everything else, James?
Most of it, except for I probably disclose too much because I'm a talker. But I would say I probably agree with 99% of it. I can't wait to go back and hear those again.
Well, the thing about the disclosure is that you're open, but you're really careful about what it is you're disclosing. You know, there are those people who are you curate what you disclose. There's a lot of stuff you're not going to say. And there's also, it's a filter. You have a filter. So.
What do you think? You know me. How close is she?
I think I would say 99 or like 98%.
Yeah.
True.
I would kind of agree. Most of it, yeah.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just appreciate how brave you are.
Got to get Monica to do it now.
Do you want to do it right now?
Right now.
Right now.
Okay.
But we have to stop for a second because I have to go get another card because I cleared out my 20,000 things here because that's what I tend to do is have everything lying around.
I can't wait to hear that back because when you're hearing it, you're.
You don't really process it.
It's not the best print, and it has to do with like some of the lipsticks, they're drier than others, and I imagine like most women probably would put more on, but it's okay. It's like whatever it is, it is. So how about we do this with Monica coming over here? Is Monica going to?
Yes, I'm gonna.
Do you want me to? Monica, the Fearless, comes on set. Monica takes. Where is she going?
I'm gonna go over here.
Okay.
I think you can still see me.
You need a chair.
I'll sit right here.
Are you on camera?
Yes.
Yes.
that should be
Okay. So, here is your makeup remover,
Okay.
and here is a.
This is so cool.
I know. Yeah.
I have never heard of it before.
Let's try that one. Truth wins. And what we do at events where we have lots and lots of people is we have a facilitator who helps explain the process and helps people actually do things. And put on more than you think you need,
Okay.
if you don't
I
mind.
will agree with that.
Yeah. You could do yours again if you want. And you could keep doing it till you get the information you want.
That was pretty darn close to what
Thank you.
I was very surprised. It's
What
like
ama-
those psychological tests. You would think it's a bunch of garbage, and you get done like, wow, that's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, well, most of the psychological tests are debunked. Now, I'm watching Monica do this, and one thing I will say is that she is very precise. And she's good at putting on lipstick, too. Which, it does influence things, but you can keep that if you like, or you can toss it.
It's not my color.
Okay. And, did I give you the card? No. It's over here. So if you would be so kind as to press, you don't need the mirror for that, but press your lips on there any way you want. So this is somebody who is really good at lipstick putting on. And no, but your analytic side leads. You constantly are learning. You push yourself to go further in everything. You see how the lip print extends past where the first line is. Your emotional side is held close. That's something you feel things very deeply, and you don't want to be obvious about it, and you hold that part of you close. You play those cards close, and not everyone's aware of how deeply you feel things. You are open to experiences, but you try to bring those experiences in a very intellectual way, and I get that through the dip at the top of your lips. And you are careful about what you say to people, but sometimes you let the things that you're experiencing emotionally come into your analytic life, and then you express. I think you have a trusted someone that you can share stuff with because you let go of it. You don't hold on to things. You really take the time to process. And see, there's a lot more lipstick on this card, so that it's much more detailed. Now, I see a shape here in the middle, and it looks like an eagle soaring, and I see you actually taking off, and not taking off literally, but really taking the knowledge that you're gaining and taking it to a new level. That might be a new position within the hierarchy that, who knows, but it's just beautiful, and the symmetry is astonishing. And James, I'm sure the next one will be symmetrical and full. It's practice, but this is really beautiful.
Yeah, I think I agree with. I found someone to like put all my trust in. That I definitely agree with. And then the new position, or you said something about a new position. I have to listen back to.
You what?
I have to go back and listen.
Yeah, you can't absorb it all
Yeah.
when she's saying it, but most of it sound very much.
Yeah.
I never thought about you being analytical, but then I started thinking about your computer side. Because that one at first I was going, no, you're creative, but then you also.
I guess I could be a little bit.
Yeah, because you do a lot of the other the analytical or computer version of things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, and you can put hairspray on it if you want. If you want to keep it,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
You could put hairspray on yours too, James. Thank you for doing that.
That was
That's-
very cool.
Thank you. So, one of the things that the kind of entertainment that we create in-house does for businesses and for brands is it engages people on a visceral level because it's about them. Unlike, and please forgive me all those casino table owners out there, unlike a casino table, it's not really about the person. It's not really about their relationship with other people or with the brand or with the company or with the product. And we can embed what we're doing in the product frequently. You can have people doing handwriting in all sorts of places on all sorts of things.
True.
And the same with lip prints. We did a step and repeat for an association where people were writing about the association on the step and repeat and putting kisses on it. And other people were taking pictures because they were imbibing and they were getting all loosey-goosey and they were having fun. So the logos of all the supporters were in the picture, and the company got a lot of mileage because they were supporters of this association, the companies.
Very cool. Do you get different things out of the signature, or is it kind of follow through?
We don't ever ask for signatures. Don't ever give anyone your signature. We have people write something about the event or about the company, the brand, the product, because then they're kinesthetically imprinting it. For example, for Computer Share, it was, if they wanted to, they could write whatever they wanted except a signature. Navigate risk, realize reward, meet your goals with ease. And so people were writing that. And when you write, for me, when I write something, I remember it. That's how I remember stuff.
That makes sense. So I want you to do my actual signature.
Well, I'm not going to do your signature, but you could do a phony signature.
Interesting. So you've been doing this since 2017.
2012.
2012. You
with
started
a
the company
3-year
in
kind
17.
of like.
Yeah. So have you done many things at the World Congress Center?
No, cannot get arrested, but just reached out to more people, actually yesterday, and trying to understand how people book the talent for their trade shows. I don't know yet. I'm really, really seriously trying to understand that. I spoke to my people over at Discover at Atlanta. I'm working on the LinkedIn part. And, with the pandemic, a lot of things changed in the world. But what really changed in the events world is, I would say, over 70% of the people who were our clients either no longer work for that company, changed positions, maybe the company folded, and that has been tough. But working on it. So I would say if you have a trade show or a conference coming up and you want to really attract people, and I got to say, this was so amazing, watching other people be jealous of the booth, watching the other people just twiddling their thumbs giving out beer koozies, bless them, beer koozies. But, they built it and nobody came. And our booth was constant.
Wow.
So,
very cool.
thank you. But I want to tell you about something that I think is really, really important.
Okay.
I believe that Narcan, which is a medication that can counteract an opioid overdose, can benefit every single venue and event planner in the United States, in Georgia, in Atlanta. Opioid overdoses are an immense crisis. It's just heartbreaking. I have to say I'm blessed to not be personally affected, but it's something I feel that I can do, and I'm looking for a sponsor to put those babies in my hands, like 300 to start, and I will go out and I will speak to event planners, I will speak to venues, I will give them out, because I meet with them all the time. I'll do it as a presentation. That's something that's just really close to my heart, because a simple spray can reverse an opioid death. And a lot of times it's not just the kids who are goofing, it's like an adult who accidentally ingests something. So it's pretty amazing. And it was when I did the Georgia Tech semi-formal last year at a beautiful venue, the Maison Rouge over in the Healy building. And the venue operator came over and said, "Oh, and the Narcan's over here." And I said, "What? What's that?" And she told me. And I said, "This is Georgia." She said, "You just never know." And she gave me a couple, and I've given them away. And it's just something that we can have that is really effective.
I've never even heard of it before.
Narcan. And I don't know if I can remember the exact name of the medication. But hospitals apparently in the emergency rooms, they administer it intravenously right away if somebody is unconscious, because it's something that is a lifesaver.
Wow, it's good to know.
And then my other big project is to find, train, and hire people with emotional, physical, and intellectual disabilities, because I can. I'm not a huge corporation. I'm nimble. And watching our son come up, we saw lots and lots of people who have disabilities who want to work, but it's so hard for them to get a foothold. Oh, and the most important part of what I just said is we pay them well.
So they would work your events and all?
They do different things. I'm always looking, and we were working with the Bobby Dodd Institute before the pandemic, and that my person's no longer there. So I look for people who are interested, willing, able to do jobs, and we can tailor the job to the person. So one of the really important parts about finding people with disabilities and giving them work is we pay them well. And the question about that is, what does that mean? Did you know that there's a thing called substandard minimum wage?
What is that?
That is actually a legal loophole by the Department of Labor that allows for people with disabilities to be paid less than minimum wage, and it's not contingent on their ability to perform the job or their productivity. And I found out about this just working with the disabled community. And there are 13 states, my last reading, that's what it was, that still have this on the books.
And that's for to get the employers to hire them?
Yes, but that's what it initially was about. But it's not always about that. So 26% of adults in the United States live with some form of disability. 26%, 1 in 4.
Wow.
And it's the only subgroup that anybody can join, right? It's a minority that anyone can join.
Yeah.
And the friends and family, the people who live with people with disabilities, they're a huge market. And I say to anybody out there who has the ability, reach out, see what you can do, because you'll do well by doing good. the economic impact of the disabled community is the equivalent of the Black community and the Hispanic community as far as disposable income goes. 500 million, I think. And once again, math is not my forte, so it could be the other word that ends in illion, but it's a lot.
Wow. Did not know that either.
And these are things that, because I work with events, because I see what can be, it's something I really try to focus on, is what can I do to make a difference? How can I make a difference? And how can other people make a difference? So the first event that was canceled due to the pandemic was for Discover Atlanta, and it was supposed to be on Ponce City Market on the rooftop, and it was going to be our Zoltar booth, and it was going to have an American Sign Language interpreter because it's the events industry, and we wanted to show them that you can reach people with silent disabilities, and you can do well by doing good. You can include people. You can, and it's like so simple to do, things like this. And people say, well, I don't know. There aren't that many people I know who are hard of hearing. Oh, yeah, if you sit next to the disc jockey all the time, you will be.
Well, my youngest son took several years of ASL, and my oldest son now is about to finish up one class, going into another one at Georgia State.
That is so, so, so awesome. And it's one thing I haven't done that I wish I had, and I might still do, but it's labor intensive.
Yeah. But it's been good for them to learn it.
It's so important. It's really...
When you never think about it, it doesn't always mean the person's deaf, because when my father-in-law was on a respirator and all, my wife was able to talk to him in sign language because he couldn't talk. So, I mean, there's other uses for it besides the obvious, the person that can't hear, but you can use it at other times.
Well, I had a repeat client recently. It was a bridesmaid shower at the Swan House, and one of the people who attended was a person that we had done an event for previously and had a baby who was going to be at the shower. And I wanted to give the baby something useful, in my opinion, something that's very handy. And I brought a small book, a hardcover paper book on baby signing. And it was so amazing because the mother, it turns out, works with the disabled community.
Oh.
And she said, we're trying to teach her that this is so amazing. So, let it start with me. Whatever it is, let it start with me. And those little tiny gestures that we make, those little moments of inclusivity, that's what makes the change.
Yeah, very much true. So when we first started the show, let's switch gears a little bit. When you first started, you were talking about you were a writer?
Journalism, yeah.
So what do you write for magazines? What do you write?
Oh, I write content now, like everybody else. I have written for different publications over the years, but it's not really a very lucrative profession.
Because you mentioned you had versions of Handy Entertainment. The Handy company has different...
A Handy little company is doing business as Handy Entertainment, and all of the content is created in-house. And even when I have played with ChatGPT, I end up, I take it out and I put my own stuff in there because I prefer what I write.
That's a good thing. You can do that. I play around with ChatGPT a little bit. So tell us, do you have a favorite event that you've done?
Cirque du Soleil, the opening night pre-event entertainment for Lucia was amazing.
So is that the one that was at Atlantic Station?
I think all of them are nowadays, but they've changed hands over the last few years. I mean, so it was really monumental.
So you did the opening event?
It was the VIP opening event, the pre-event.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah.
So, how many events do you think you do a year?
Oh, that's a great question. This is a time-saving moment because I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It's changed so much.
Yeah.
And
I
then
bet.
you've got the virtual too. And then, do you count the little things where people get to go packages or lip kits or handwriting kits as a present? So we've done over 900 since our inception.
So that's interesting. Do you do more of like the lip reading and the handwriting than actually the event planning? Or is it kind of equal or?
Well, James, if you really insisted on it, I could tell you how many half rounds fit into that ballroom. That's not my strength. So we create and produce entertainment for events, and we can share with people good, dependable vendors who will be able to help them with the planning. That's another thing that is out there is event consultations that we do. So let's say your company plunks you down in Atlanta and says, okay, we're going to do our holiday event here. Go ahead and book it. You could have your kid Google stuff. You could go ahead and just pick something randomly. But what you might want to do is ask someone who has skin in the game. I have skin in the game. What is a good venue for this many people, this time of year? What are the gotchas? And you can also have references of vendors who are, most of them are certified diverse businesses, because that's something that we love. We're WeBank certified. That's the Greater Women's Business Enterprise National Council. And the regional partnership organization is the Greater Women's Business Council. And proud to be a certified woman-owned small business. The SBA certifies businesses, and it's not for wimps. The certification process, it's pretty intense. Lots and lots and lots of paperwork. You're not smiling?
No, I just find that very interesting.
Which part of it?
Just all that and the small business loan and different things you do. And I think while you were talking to, I was thinking about something we talked about in the very beginning, and you have a video that we were going to review. So.
Okay.
Gonna let. Oh, there's is it Zelda?
Zoltar.
Zoltar.
Zelda is a different book.
So this is kind of cool. Didn't this come from like the movie Big or something like that?
I believe Zoltar is a boardwalk phenomenon. And what the movie Big did is sort of like make it very famous, because the kid goes up to the Zoltar booth.
Yes.
And then, I want to be big. And it's a booth that you can find all over the place. I was speaking at the special event Cater Source conference in Anaheim in 2022 about disabilities and inclusion and creating jobs for the person, right? And there was a Zoltar booth, and so
you do see those around.
Yeah,
That's
they're so
true.
cool.
Is this Oglethorpe?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
How did you know?
I thought it seemed my son went to Oglethorpe his first year.
It's a great school.
It is.
But wait. So we've got fire juggling, and we've got Zoltar, and we also have sword swallowing.
Oh, Addams Family.
Yeah, so one of the things that I was asked in my recertification is like, how many employees? And it's like, how many times a year do you actually hire a sword swallower? And she really does this. People, she really does this. It's amazing. How many times a year? And so these entertainers are subcontractors. But the thing is,
Wow.
to know who is good, who is reliable, if they're going to do what they say they're going to do, when they say they're going to do it, will they show up on time? Those are the things that are really important. And it takes time to vet people, whether it's musicians, whether it's singers, whether it's unicycle riders, you need to know that that person is really going to do what they say they're going to do and that it meets the client's expectations.
Doesn't John Mesa from Chamblee, doesn't he ride around on one of these?
I haven't seen him.
But then he's got that little, is like that.
Maybe, oh.
But before that, I think he had one of those. Well, interesting. I'm kind of glad we saw that now because it shows other aspects of what you can bring to the table for these events and conferences. And
Well, the Zoltar booth has a trap door, secret door that you can dispense things from. You can dispense hand sanitizer. We also have a giving skirt, which holds 93 3-ounce test tubes. And no, sir, it's not a champagne skirt. It's a giving skirt. Mm. And the reason it's pretty cool is that
is that
you
it?
can put all sorts of things in it. You can put samples. You can put...
there's the...
lip print analysis.
Lip print analysis.
Yeah, so you can put all sorts of things in those test tubes. You can put, one of my things is putting marzipan carrots in Oreo dirt. You can have all sorts of, you can have raffles, you can have prizes, you can have flowers. There's a thing we did for...
No men are doing this. What am I, the crazy one?
No, these are predominantly women at this event. And it was freezing cold out, and the men were huddled inside around the fire. Yes, it was only the women. It was actually, that was at the Four Seasons, and it was for wedding planners. So predominantly women. There are some male wedding planners.
You know, we do wedding planning workshops and we do family reunion workshops.
Yes, and I asked to be part of it, and I was told that it's for the wedding planners.
Oh.
But I would be happy to come in and share some of the things that we know about that we do with wedding planners for you all.
Do you come to our family reunion workshops?
That was another thing I said. I would be really interested in attending that, and I was told that that was something that is for family reunion planners. So I understand. You just, you don't want somebody coming in there and selling magazine subscriptions. You know what I mean? It's like, how can you keep it about the thing that it is? And I understand this because I get millions of spam emails and calls all the time with someone who wants to sell me something. And I don't sell stuff.
Yeah, Monica sent me an email yesterday wanting to change her bank account.
Yes, right? So
you get a lot of those.
Yeah. So cybersecurity is a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, any last-minute stories or?
So one of the things that we did this year was a series of small events for a large architectural and design firm, and they had events, mini events, micro events for their clients who are designers. And what was really great about that is that we were able to create mini environments in there. It's Steelcase ink. And we could put what they wanted their clients to do, the action that they wanted them to follow, like, oh, you're going to make a purchase of, into the reading. And it was, it was all in fun, but it was something that was really, it was really great to work with them because they have a lot of creativity and they have a lot of ideas. One part of that was phenomenal was the fact that people took what we produced with them. They took it to their office and they have them, like the cards, They have the cards, they have the swag, they have the things to remind them of what they've done. Oh, and another thing that's really important that we do is we're multiculturally competent and aware. So everyone we work with is just aware of the fact that people have different needs, whether it's a disability, whether if it's feeling like they're an outcast in a certain situation, gender diversity, sexual orientation, race, socioeconomic, everything. So we're just aware and we try to make we actually do make everybody feel comfortable.
That's great. You got to today. You should have always been, but today it's even more important to recognize all the nationalities or just people. So it's great.
Because people are people, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming to our show.
Thank
We've
you so
enjoyed
much.
having you, and it was unbelievable with lip reading for me and for Monica. And thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to check out our next cast.
Thank you so much, James.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Monica.